we can look at banking from another aspect of also. I have tried to give you small pictures because normally people, talk about banking. Banking is a very highbrow subject with a lot of people with seriousness. They read and write, they mug up definitions and all. I would like you to enjoy the lessons on banking, because only when you enjoy, you retain the portion of it longer than you think of, and therefore you should enjoy. Actually, let us understand what is a bank. Bank is doing, it's doing a fine balancing between acceptance of deposits and lending or investment. Why balancing is required? Suppose you take 1 lakh deposits. Can you lend 1 crore? You cannot do. Suppose you take 1 crore deposits. Can you lend only 1 lakh and lend or invest 1 lakh and keep the remaining 99 lakhs in your coffer? You cannot do. You have to continuously evolve systems and procedures and actions so that you are able to lend all the money that you have accepted as deposits or invest all the money that you have accepted, so that you can earn interest with which you will be able to pay your depositors. Therefore, here is a picture which shows the beauty of this banking, namely you have to have a fine balance between accepting of deposits and lending or investments. The next aspect of banking, or how you remember banking, is like walking. This is my pet concept. Banking is like walking. Why walking? We normally walk with 2 legs. A banker walks with 2 legs. What are the 2 legs with which he walks? He walks, one is deposit and another is advances. He never stops on 2 legs. He walks on 2 legs. That means he continuously gets deposits and he continuously is employing them in either investment or giving loans. So it is a continuous process. It is not a standstill affair. You just take deposit one time, give loan one time and keep quiet and go to sleep. No. You have to continuously accept deposits. You have to continuously give loan. It is like walking. On the one leg you take deposit, on the other leg you give advances. Next is, you while walking you should be neither too fast nor too slow. If you are too fast, what happens when you try to walk too fast? Then what happens? You go and fall somewhere. If there is a small pit or something like that, you go fall. Similarly, a banker should never try to walk too fast. He should maintain the speed, an average speed, an acceptable speed, a manageable speed. Because if you try to, anybody who has tried to do banking at a supersonic speed, they have all come down crashing. Therefore, a banker has to maintain a normal speed. You should neither be too fast nor you should be too low. Too fast, all of us know. If your bank is too fast, we have had the history of so many banks which have failed because they tried to do too many things too fast. So which you should not try to do. Nor at the same time, you cannot be too slow. Why too slow? Because if you are too slow, then your competitors will walk over you. You will not be able to face competition. Therefore, you have to keep an acceptable speed. Then, while walking, banker is only walking with the 2 legs, that is accepting deposits and giving loan. These are the 2 legs. What his hand is doing? Now we have got universal banks come to. Concept of universal banking has come. The bank is doing so many other functions also. Like, while walking, people are using the cell phone and talking. Like that, you are using your 2 hands and do a lot of agency functions, like selling mutual fund, like selling insurance, like selling gold coin. The bank is doing so many other functions also, while at the same time maintaining the basic primary function of walking, which means accepting of deposits and giving loan. And as I told you, while walking you should not fall. Like that, a banker, while conducting the banking of all these businesses while he is doing, he should maintain a fine balance and a reasonable and normal speed, and he should never go bankrupt. You should always be forward looking. When you walk, you cannot take backward and then walk. You have to be forward looking. Similarly, in a bank, you should always be looking for what are the risks that are there a banker faces. And you should continuously de-risk yourself. Therefore, you continue as a banker, as a safe banker. because safety is the first priority for any banker. So this is my kind of pet concept. Banking is akin to walking, because you take deposits in one leg and advances in another leg, but you don't stop with it, you continue walking. You have to be neither too slow nor too fast, so that you are surviving. Then you should not fall. At the same time, you should be forward looking, which means that you should be able to look at the risks and de-risk your bank, so that you continue without any problem. And another aspect of banking I want to bring to you. Why should a banker lend? Lending means taking a lot of risk. You may give the money, the borrower may not return. Why should a bank lend? Now it is equivalent to telling a ship is very safe in the harbor. This is what my chairman, managing director, when I joined the bank in 1972, I was trained under a great banker called G. Lakshmi Narayanan. He told me this concept, which I remember even today. The words which he used. A banker, he used to tell, a ship is very safe in the harbor, but that is not the purpose for which a ship is built. Suppose you build a beautiful ship and put it in a harbor, don't take it to the sea because you are afraid of the perils of the sea. Then what is the purpose of building a ship in the first place? If there is a ship and you have built it structurally correct and beautifully, then it should go into the sea, withstand the perils of the sea and come back laden with goods and profit. Similarly, a banker takes deposits, he takes money, and he cannot just make the biggest safe deposit vault in the world and keep all the money. You are a banker, you want to be very safe, you want to play safe, you don't want to take any risk, then make biggest vault and then put all the money in the vault, lock it and keep the lock with you. Can you do it? You cannot do it, because if you do it, who will pay the interest to the depositors? After the 1 year, a fixed deposit holder is going to come and ask for interest. How are you going to pay? Therefore, the money of the banker is very safe in the vault of the bank, but that is not the purpose for which bank is built. The banker's money has to go into the business, into the ocean of business, face the perils and risk of business, and remember, like a ship, it has to come back. This is a very, very important point, which is nowadays is the biggest problem. Sometimes the banker's money doesn't come back. Banker's money goes, and that is the end of Solomon Grundy. You don't see the color of the money afterwards. The banker cannot afford to do it. The banker's money has to come back with the interest, with the profit, so that the bank ultimately will be able to make profit out of its operations. Therefore, a banker's money is very safe in the vault, like a ship is very safe in the harbor, but that is not the purpose for which a banker in the first place accepts the money. He has to lend it, he has to invest it, see the perils of the commerce, and then his wisdom lies in ensuring that the money comes back with the interest, with the profit, so that he is able to service his depositors, and the enterprise of banking goes on and on continuously. I want to bring to your notice a very, very important aspect of banking, which may sometimes normally slip. You must remember that only a banker can issue checkbook in India. A non-banking finance company, it may be the biggest non-banking finance company. For example, let us take HDFC, which is the biggest non-banking finance company in India, which has more than 300 branches. And it has more than 3,000 billions of deposits. HDFC, please let us not make any confusion here. Housing Development Finance Company. Housing Development Finance Company is a non-banking finance company. HDFC Bank is a bank. That is different. It was sponsored by HDFC, and HDFC Bank is a private sector bank. So HDFC, Housing Development Finance Company, still continues. It is one of the biggest lenders in the players in the home loan segment. They are a biggest non-banking finance company in India. They are looking from 300 locations, more than 3,000 billions of deposits they have, resources they have, and they are bigger than some of the small banks. Even then, Can HDFC issue a checkbook to the customer? No. Only a bank can issue checkbook. If they want checkbook, they have to come to a bank. That is the strength of a bank, because it is a bank which can accept deposits which are repayable by check. It is a very, very important thing which we should remember. Only a bank can issue checkbook. A non-banking finance company, however big it is, Reliance Capital or HDFC, however big it is, they cannot issue a checkbook.